Hello students, now we will see the book back programs, okay, the unsolved programs. I'll explain you the concepts, you can write the program. So first is your sum of three consecutive numbers. We have to add the three numbers and the fourth number will be the addition of that number. See here 0 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. Similarly 1 plus 2 plus 3 is equal to 6. Like that the numbers keep on going. So the first thing what you have to do is you have to initialize some variable. I've just given a, b and c. However you want, you can initialize it. A is equal to 0, b is equal to 1, the first three values, and c is equal to 2, and we are going to keep on swapping it to add the three numbers. Like this we need to swap it. See, for example, I'm putting it in the for loop. Whichever loop you want, you can do it. If I is equal to 0 and less than or equal to 10, this is for printing 10 terms of such terms. Okay, so I plus plus, and D is equal to A plus B plus C. That is the fourth number will be A plus B plus C. So that I have given D is equal to A plus B plus D, and SOP you have to print. The SOP means system.out.println. You are going to print the D, and before doing this we have to print these numbers first itself. That is A, B and C. You have to print it, and then only the D is going to come. Then you are going to swap it. If A is equal to B and B in A, you will be having the value of B. That is A will become 1 and C will become 2 and C will become the D. That is the 3. That is the fourth number will be coming in the C. And now once again if you add this, once again it will go up, and D is equal to A plus B plus C. So you will get the 6. Again in C, again you are going to swap, and if you keep on doing like this, you will get the sum of three consecutive numbers. Then next program is to add the numbers if they are positive. No, you have to print the series in alternative addition and subtraction. So we will see what to do. Initialize a variable to 1. For example, j is equal to 1. Any variable, whatever name you want, you can give and initialize it to 1. Then create the for loop or whatever loop you want for 10 terms. Okay, so the condition should satisfy 10 till 10. See, we have given here now I is equal to less than or equal to 10. The condition should be less than or equal to 10, and in for loop check if the odd or even numbers to display alternative negative numbers, and you are going to increase it by j is equal to j plus 2 at the end of the loop, not in this condition. This is going to be separately done. See here, if I, that is this term, the number of term, this belongs to, this denotes your number of term. So the number of term is odd means, sorry, even means it is going to be a negative number. Okay, so you are, if it is even means it is divisible by 2. So you are checking whether the remainder is 0. If it is 0, it is a even number, and you are going to multiply that number with the minus 1, because you are going to print a alternative positive and negative series. So SOP is equal to J. Here, see, if it is a even number only, it is going to be in the negative number. If it is not a even number, means you are going to just print the number as it is. Then J is equal to J plus 2. Why this J plus 2 is, you are going to print the alternative number 1, 3, 5, 7, like that you are going to print, so that you are giving it J is equal to J plus 2. So we will see the next first sum C. We are going to print it in this series, C 0, 3, 8 and 15. First we have to initialize a variable k is equal to, see these variables, it can be any name. Okay, this and all, for example only I have given here. So whatever name you want, you can give it. Variable k is equal to 0 and j is equal to 3. That is the first two numbers I have given, and these numbers have to be printed in the output before itself. And here loop, any loop you can take. For everything I have used the for loop, but whatever loop you want, you can use it. So in for loop, I have initialized I is equal to 0, I less than or less than 10, and I plus plus, and k is equal to k plus j. Okay, k plus j, that is the first number plus the second number, and j is equal to j plus 2. That is, see the difference here. Here you are getting 3, and here you are getting 5, and here you are getting 7. So the difference between the second number and the first number is keep on increasing by 2. So that is the reason we are increasing j is equal to j plus 2, and addition of these two numbers is give you the next number. Okay, can you understand this? K is equal to 0. First k is equal to 0 and 3. So next number you are going to get the 3. So next j j is equal to 3 first. So if you give plus 2, next difference will be the 5 here. 3 plus 5 is 8. So next you will get the 5 here. For the next iteration it will be coming, and k value is going to be 3, and 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So next it will be j was 5, right? Now plus 2, so j will become 7. So 8 plus 7 is 15. So in k 8 will be there. So 8 plus 7 is equal to 15. Like that it will be coming. Now you have to print the numbers like this: 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, like this. You have to print the number. For this, just initialize the variable to 0 and declare a variable, and inside the loop what you are going to do is j is equal to j into 10 plus 1. Why we have declared here 0 is j into 10. Okay, so j into 10 means obviously you are getting 0 plus 1 is 1, the first series, and next you will be having 1 in your j. So for the next iteration you will be getting 1 into 10, that is 10 plus 1 is 11. So in your j you will be having the value 11, and once again in the next iteration 11 into 10 is equal to 110 plus 1 is 111. Like this the series will be keep on printing till 10 terms only. For everything we are taking only 10 terms. So till 10 terms it will be keep on printing. How many terms you want you can give. The next is it has to be printed like this: 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, like that. This is somewhat similar to this one, same as the above program, everything initialization and all. But the thing what we are going to do here is j into 10 plus, here for everything it is coming 1. So we have kept it as 1, but here it is coming 1 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 4 1 2 3 4, like that. So we are going to add the I, because you have initialized I is equal to 1 2 3, like that it will be keep on coming. See, for example, j is equal to 0. So 0 into 10 is going to be 0 plus I is equal to 1 is going to be the first value 1. So in j 1 will be there into 10, that is for the second iteration, 10 and 10 plus the second number is 2. So you will be getting 12 as the second number, and here j will be having the value 12. So for the third iteration 12 into 10 is 120, and I value is going to be 3 because it is the third iteration. So 123 will be coming. So this will be keep on coming in the loop until the condition satisfies. Then is your then comes your second sum. In that a, you have to add the sum of series till the n terms. This n terms has to be got as input from the user. Till how many terms the series has to be summed up. Okay, so initialize n with the input, and t1, this is a variable I have declared. What variable you want you can declare. t1 is equal to 0 and t2 is equal to 1. I have declared it here. See, to get 1 plus 1 is 2 and 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, like this, like we saw before in the first sum, no, like that. I am going to just swap it and add these number. There we were swapping and printing the numbers, but here we are going to sum it up. That is the only difference. See here, same thing. There I have given A, B, C. That is 3 consecutive numbers we were adding, but here only two numbers. So I have taken only 2 variables, and I am going to swap this and sum it up. That is the only thing. There we were only printing. Here see, sum is equal to T1 plus T2. You will get the first term. Then T1 will become, what is there in the T2? 1 will come to T1, and T2 will get the sum 1. So again the second value you will get 2. So now T1 will be 2 and T2 will be the sum 2. So again you will be getting the value 3. Like that it will be keep on going. If you swap and add the numbers, you will get this series. Next we will see the B sum. In B sum you have to print it like you have to add it like this: 2 minus 4 plus 6 minus 8. That is, it is going to come in the alternative positive and negative numbers, and as usual n you have to get it as the input from the user for how many terms to be printed. And initialize sum is equal to 0 because we are going to sum it up, so we are initializing it. Loop initialize I is equal to 0. That is, in which loop, whatever loop you are going to use, that loop you have to initialize with I is equal to 0, because usually we will initialize it with 0 or 1, but here it starts with 2. That is the reason we are going to initialize with 2 and increment it by 2, because see the difference. 4 minus 2 is 2, 6 minus 4 is 2, 8 minus 6 is 2. So we are going to increment it by 2. Since all the negative numbers are divisible by 4, see here, all the negative numbers are divisible by 4. We are going to check the number is divisible by 4 or not. If it is divisible by 4 means you are going to subtract that number. If it is not divisible by 4 means you are going to add that number. So inside the loop you will be keep on checking if the number is divisible by 4. If yes means you are going to minus that number from the sum. If it is positive means you are going to add it with the sum, so that you will get it like this. The loop will be going until this n number is satisfied. So next sum is S is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, like that we are going to add it. So first thing, we are going to get the input from the user, that is how many terms, and sum we are going to initialize it as 0. We use 2 for loops here. Okay, for loop or whatever loop you are going to use, we are going to use 2 loops, because one is for getting this number and one is here in each term you are getting 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, like that we are getting no. So for this also you need one more iteration. That is the reason we are using 2 loops here. So first is for this first terms, number of terms you are going to use. So the condition satisfies the input number of terms, and second, for this you are going to do. So we are going to initialize it as j is equal to 1, and condition we are going to give as the I, because for first iteration you have only 1, for the second 1 plus 2, for the third 1 plus 2 plus 3, like that you are going to add. That is the reason we have given high here. So for the first iteration you will be having the 1, and in the second iteration sum is equal to 0 plus 1, again it goes, because I is equal to 2, so 1 plus 2 will be added here, and again it goes to this loop, and again it comes to this loop, and now I will be 3, and this will be added 1 plus 2 plus 3, like that it will be keep on going. Then next sum is S is equal to 1 plus 1 into 2, 1 into 2 into 3. This is same as this, only thing is you are going to change the multiplication sign. Okay, so sum is equal to, the first sum is going to be the same thing. Here we are doing the sum, right? That is going to be the sum is equal to sum plus the, here I have used the variable previous. Okay, then previous is equal to previous plus previous into I, that is this one. The same thing we are going to follow, but only this thing we are going to change. Then next series is S is equal to 1 plus 2 by 1 into 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 by 1 into 2 into 3, like that it is going to come. So in this we are going to, as usual, get the number of terms as input, sum is equal to 0, and here another one we are doing product, because this product we are going to do, no, for that we are initializing a variable is equal to 1, then double is equal to for the result. For this you are getting the result, no, that need to be added, so that we are initializing a variable result. So in any loop you have to do the sum is equal to sum plus I, and product is equal to, see, for this sum plus I, and for this product is equal to product into I. That is here also you will be using 2 for loops, and in that one will be as it is, and for the second iteration you will be getting sum plus, that is 1 plus 2 you will be getting, and here 1 into 2. For the next third loop you will be getting 1 plus 2 plus 3, and here 1 into 2 into 3. So and at last you are going to divide it. So result is equal to result sum plus product. Here we are declared it as integer, so we are changing it into double and saving it in the result. Then next in third A series is A plus A square plus A cube plus, like that the power is going to be increasing, A power 4, A power 5, like that it is going to be increased, and we are going to add these things. For that what we have to do is again the same thing, the number of terms has to be get as input from the user, and the A value also should be get as input from the user, and for the result we have initialized, that is for the last sum up. So result here what we have to do is, it is just keep on increasing gradually. So result in the loop, for or while loop, whatever it is, you have to give the condition till n series, and you have to just add it. Result is equal to result plus math dot, because the power is going to increase, you are going to give the I. Okay, so A power 1 is A, then in next iteration it will be coming A power 2, A square, like that it will be keep on increasing. Next iteration A will be 3, A power 3 and A power 4, like that till the n series it will be coming. Then the sum of A plus 1, A plus 2, A plus 3, like that it is going to come. So input we are going to get it A and n as the input, then result is going to be, just we are going to initialize it with 0, and again in the loop we are going to give it as result plus A plus I, because here we have the A plus 1, A plus 2, A plus 3. For each iteration the I value will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus, like that it is going to be keep on adding. For then next series is S is equal to A by 2, A by 5, A by 8, A by 11, like that is going up to A by 20. So input we are going to get it as A. Then here they have already given the number 20. So we will be initializing it with the 20 input, and sum we have declared, sum we have initialized to 0. Then in the loop you have to init I or whatever variable you are going to use with 2, and you have to increment it by 3. The reason is 2 plus 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, 8 minus 5 is equal to 3, 11 minus 8 is 3. So it is keep on increasing by 3. So that is the reason we are incrementing here I plus 3, and in the loop the sum is going to be sum plus, here A by 2 is coming, A by 5, A by 8. So you are dividing the A by I. So I value is going to be keep on increasing by 2, and here the value starts from 2. That is the reason we have initialized I with the 2. So A by 2. For the next iteration it is going to be A by 5. For the next iteration it is going to be A by 8, like that. Okay. Then next series is S is equal to 1 by A, 2 by A square, 3 by A cube, like that. Whatever is the numerator, the denominator is going to have that as the power. So in the loop what we are going to do is sum is equal to sum plus, that is to add the previous one number only we are getting, always giving this sum plus is coming. Then I divided by, that is I for the first iteration 1 divided by math dot power A power I is going to be your A. So 1 by A plus, and next to the, in the next iteration you will be having I as 2. So math dot power A comma 2. So A square you will get. like this if you put, and in the for loop you will be getting the sum of these series. Then S is equal to a minus a cube plus a power 5 minus a power 7. See here you are getting alternative and the powers are increasing by 2, 3. See here 1, a power 1, a power 3, a power 5, a power 7, a power 9, like that it is increasing by 2. So now what you are going to do is, here we have the formula for this. S is equal to n minus 1 by I is equal to 0. That formula you are substituting here. So sum plus math dot power minus 1 comma I, that is this thing. This formula only you have substituted here in the loop. That's all. Then this is your co-prime number. To find the co-prime number, if it is a co-prime number means its common factor will be 1. So need to check whether the two numbers have common divisor other than 1. If common divisor other than 1 is there means, so it is not a co-prime. So input two numbers, you are going to get the two numbers and you are going to check for the smallest number, because still smallest number only it is divisible by the other number. Okay, so you are going to initialize the loop with the smallest number and you are going to keep on checking whether that both the number have a common divisor. If both the number are divided by any number, if it is commonly divisible means you will be getting the remainder 0 in both the numbers. So that's the reason we are checking like this. If mod I is equal to 0, similarly b mod I is equal to 0 means, so both the numbers there will be a common divisor. So if it enter here, increment or initialize a variable to check the common divisor, that is like flag we will be saying. We will be introducing a new variable and we will be just incrementing it, and we will check whether that number has been incremented. That is, first itself we will be initializing it with some 0, and at last we will be checking if the flag has been, if that new variable has been increased. If it is greater than 0 means, so you have a common divisor other than 1, so it is not a co-prime number. If that number is not greater than 0 means it is a co-prime number, because it is not going to have a common divisor. Then find the product of successor of even digits in the number. The number you are going to take it as the input number, and in that you are going to find the product of the successor. So a product of the successor means you are going to get the single digit. Okay, you are going to just get a number and product of its successor means even digits of that number, and you are going to get the thing. So you have to get the digits of that number, right? So for that you are going to have it like this. So this is your input number. Input number you are going to initialize with I, and I is going to be greater than 0 means it is going to the iteration is going to be done. If I is equal to I by 10, because to get the digit we are dividing it by 10. Then here we are checking if b mod 2 is equal to 0 for even number, that is you will be getting the digit here, single digit, and that digit is equal to 0 means it is a even number. So that we are checking it. If yes means you are going to multiply it with its successor. Okay, so b is the number, so m into b in plus 1, so that you will be getting the product of the successor. So next is to check the Pronic number. Pronic number means number that have two consecutive number as factors. Okay, two consecutive. For example, 12. 12 means 3 into 4. Okay, like that. 2. If this is consecutive number, right? 3, 4. Like that, if 2 into 3 is 6. Like that, if it is coming means, then it is a Pronic number. So initialize the number with input value. Just get the number to check whether it is a Pronic number or not. Check if I into I plus 1 is equal to 0. We are just going to put it in the loop till the input condition should satisfy the till the input number. You have to iterate the loop and check if that I is I into I plus 1. If I is 1 means I plus 1 is 2. So I in 1 into 2 is equal to the given input number. If yes means you are going to print it as Pronic number, or else it is not a Pronic number.